Hello, I am back to talk to you in the YouTubes. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. My name is Amanda Gold, and I'm an artist and a creativity coach. And yes, you can work with me one-on-one if you wanna. Shoot me an email at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com if you want to know more about that. And yeah, today's a really good day. I hope you're enjoying the really rad audio soundscapes for your sweet ear holes. I got the new mic today, so I'm super excited to have that. And yeah, it's been a hoot testing it with my feller, and we just went on a hike this morning, so I am very happy and sleepy and ready to kind of just be easy and smooth for the rest of the day. But I am here for you all with Saturday's video, and the theme that I'm exploring with you here for the whole month of May, which is almost over already, is on rejection. And today I'm really excited to share some thoughts about how there's a way that I suggest that we all adopt in looking at rejection, which is that it's not even real. It doesn't have to be real. So what I'm talking about here, so a lot of the coaching that I believe in and teach and have used on myself and really adore as far as the power that it has to transform our whole way of thinking and thus our whole world, is that our suffering comes from the thoughts that we're having about anything. So I've said this before, other great teachers talk about this where this is just a universal truth, that all circumstances are neutral, reality is neutral and even kind. But when we start to have certain thoughts about any event or person or situation, any of our circumstances, then we start to have feelings, and that's when we can get into trouble. And rejection is a gnarly one, right? Like many of us have felt that, have experienced it, have just been there, and it sucks. And I was looking up the definition of rejection because I've really been playing with this idea that I don't think it's even real. I think it's more of a feeling based on a story we're telling. And if we chose to tell a different story or just sort of reject that reject it, let that go as a real factual thing, then we would be a lot happier. Because rejection is one of those, it's way high on the list of really shitty things to feel. I would put it up there with jealousy. So when I looked it up on dictionary.com, it said, so rejection is to refuse to have or refuse to recognize, refuse to accept. And obviously that's super painful stuff, especially when we know that we have a brain as humans that needs to feel a part of, to feel included in a group. Because back in the day, if we were rejected or exiled from our group, then we wouldn't survive most likely, right? We do need connection. And so we all struggle and want to strive to feel a part of something. And a lot of us struggle with wanting people to like us and wanting to feel accepted. And we get in a lot of trouble when we think that's even a real thing, right? And then the other thing that I saw on the definition site was to discard as useless or unsatisfactory. Youch. Yeah, that hurts. And that's what it feels. When I have felt rejected, and that pain inside my body and that just dejected, rejected feeling, it's because I felt like I was discarded and I feel useless and unsatisfactory, or my work was unsatisfactory or no good. So so is that real though? Is it true, as Byron Katie would say? And this is where I think we can challenge rejection and just kind of let it go for ourselves, because we treat rejection as if it was a thing outside of us that's a fact. Like, I have been rejected. He rejected me because he broke up with me, or because he fired me from the job, or this or that happened. And we say it as a statement of fact. Like, this happened to me. I was rejected. I am rejected. And I would just invite you today to practice the thought that that's not a thing, that can't happen unless we believe that, unless we buy into that. So it really is a choice we can make. And for some of you, this might be kind of a new thing. This might be kind of mind-bendy to be like, what do you mean rejection's not real? Tell that to my boss who fired me, or to this guy who doesn't want to work with me anymore. But I really think it's more of an emotion that's based on a thought that we're having about our own worth or about this situation. And I think there's always a way to choose to think about something that feels a lot better. And I don't think this is delusion, and I don't think this is denial. I think that, our brains are trained and biased towards the negative for our survival. Again, this goes back to how we've evolved as a species. We had to scan for danger. And so still our brains are scanning for the negative, which it perceives as danger, which it says is a threat to our lives and our survival. And our ego is scanning for that too, because our ego is threatened when we don't have all these stories about us. And if we like to hang on to a victim story, then of course we're going to thrive on the rejection story to prove how we're such a victim, right? If you want to know more about this, please shoot me an email. It's a lot to chew on in one short video. But for now, just keep it to the idea about rejection is just a story that you're telling, or it's just a choice that you're making, and you can choose a different way to look at a situation. It doesn't have to be this negative, like it was a rejection and that's a fact. It could be, I've practiced with so many different ways of experiencing and looking at something that I perceived as rejection at first. Like, oh, this is another good example from Byron Katie, where she says, anything that we lose or don't have, we've actually been spared that thing. Like, we don't know what would have happened if we had kept that opportunity. We think that we know what's best for us, and we think we want to control things, and it's like, I want that thing and I need it to happen like this. And when it doesn't, we're all upset and we feel rejected, or we feel like we lost out or something. But maybe we were spared from something. Like, we just don't know what might have happened. And the other thing, the other thing that can live alongside that thought is that maybe we needed to not have that thing happen so that we were available for an even better opportunity. Again, this might sound like Pollyanna or wishful thinking to some, but I would just challenge that, because we don't know for sure what's best or what's going to happen, or we don't ever have the whole picture. We're all of us just here now, and we do a really great job of trying to predict the future, but we don't really know what the future holds. And so just as you think you really want this thing that is going to make your life better or is going to make you really happy, and then you lose it and you think, well, that's the end of the world, it could just as equally be true that not getting that thing was the best thing that happened for you. We just don't know. So you might as well choose the thing that's going to serve you and help you feel better and move you forward in life. And to me, that means letting go of this notion that it's even possible to be rejected. Now, I'm not perfect at this because I'm human and I get my feelings hurt just like everyone else. But I do know through coaching myself and learning from other coaches, that if I am feeling painful emotions, it's not because of the thing that happened, it's because of the thought I'm having and the story that I'm believing about that thing. And so I would just invite you today to try on a new story, try a new thought, and just see how that feels and how that moves you forward. And today is a great day to work with rejection, because it happens to all of us. It doesn't actually happen to us, but we feel like it happens, and I'm sure we can all connect to some time of feeling rejected. And so what if we just let that go and said, oh, cool. All right. I guess there's something better for me that I'm supposed to be open for. Or it doesn't even have to, you don't even have to try to spin a positive story about it, but just maybe notice if you're actually making a negative out of it. Maybe it could just be neutral. Like, I tried that didn't work. That's okay. There's other options. I'm going to keep trying. There's other people that do want to work with me. That's another thing that's really been helping me too. Like, instead of seeing something as a rejection, just being grateful for the opportunity to know now rather than later that it wasn't a good fit. Because the people who want you and need what you have to say and who adore you and want to support you and who are your people, they are your people. And you're not going to have to chase them, and you're not going to have to fight for them, and they're not going to behave in ways that cause you to feel rejected, right? Or have those thoughts come up that seem like rejection. Your people are your people, and you're going to find those. And so there is gratitude to be had when someone says no thanks to you or your work, because you just know, like, all right, that wasn't for me for whatever reason. And I don't have to take this personally, and I don't have to believe a crazy, painful story about it. So yeah, that's about all I have to say on that. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Please share in the comments if you've ever been rejected and were able to find the good in it, or if it ended up being like a blessing in disguise. A lot of the things that we think are rejections at first, when we get farther down the road, we realize like, oh my God, I'm so glad that happened. And I could tell you lots of stories about how that was true in my life, but this video is long enough for today. So thanks for being here. Again, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching or just chatting with me, I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. Also, if you're liking these videos and you want to support the work and have me keeping them coming, I love doing them, and you can support me financially if you want to, or assist in the financial support. I have a Patreon account, And I've been posting those links in the comments. So check that out if that's a way that you feel called to give and share and support. So, and thank you to my patrons that I have now. And thank you everyone for being here and watching, and keep being awesome. And I'll see you Tuesday for another Try It Tuesday. All right. Thanks. Bye.